changes. But I'm also going to be referring to Chapter 57, Articles 40, 57, -20, and so forth. So all of you pull out your copy of the South Carolina Real Estate Licensing Law and follow with me. If you have it, this is the latest edition, July 1st, 2020. And I'm not going to ask how many of you have read this from cover to cover in the last 12 months or the last 24 or the last 36 months. Most realtors will say, well, I attend the update session each year so that I'm up to date on real estate licensing law. And I say, that's good. That's important. You have to have the CE requirements. However, it's very important for us as practicing licensees in South Carolina and North Carolina to make sure that we not only are familiar with, but we read South Carolina real estate licensing law. So many times people come before the commission or the IRC, which is the Internal Review Committee, or the investigation, and they say, well, I didn't know that. And they will refer them to a section 40-57-130, where it specifically talks about that particular thing that the licensee is required to do or perhaps not allowed to do according to South Carolina real estate license law. So the purpose of the commission is stated right at the beginning of this document, that the commission is created, the state created the South Carolina Real Estate Commission under the administration of the Department of Labor Licensing and Regulation. The purpose of the commission is to regulate the real estate industry so as to, everyone knows this, protect the public's interest when involved in real estate transactions. Section 20 says valid licensure requirements are for real estate brokers, salespersons, and property managers, and it is unlawful to act as a real estate broker, real estate salesperson, or real estate property manager, or to advertise or provide services as such without an active, valid license issued by the South Carolina Real Estate Commission. Now, active, valid license is important, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today. And I want this to really be a conversation, so I want you to feel free to stop me, to ask questions. But I'm going to go over some of the things that we had some questions submitted, as Billy and I talked about, and Candace, issues that have come before the PRAR and questions. So I'm going to address a few of these, but I'm also going to refer you as licensees to two very important websites. And you don't have to write these down, they're too long. We will send them out to you. We'll send these links out to you. But the one is llr.sc.gov. That's License Law and Regulation South Carolina. And you will simply go to the Real Estate Commission, and you can pull up on that website, as most all of you know, copies of the most current license law, timeshare, etc. Once you go into that website, you will find the minutes of the South Carolina Real Estate Commission, the members of the South Carolina Real Estate Commission, how you can contact members of the South Carolina Real Estate Commission. Not only that, you will be able to see disciplinary actions that have been taken by the South Carolina Real Estate Commission. I'm not going to go into the full procedure for those actions. I'm glad to take questions a little bit later, but there is a process that is followed very closely. The second link is to the facts document, and the facts document relates to and spells out what the requirements are as we are directed by the state legislature, the commission, to do fingerprinting and background checks. So I'm going to touch on that and with a few questions, but as I said before, don't hesitate to stop and ask me questions. One of the first questions that came to us was this: if a licensee has a sales license and has had the required fingerprint test and now wants to upgrade to a broker's license, are they required to have another fingerprint test? Just had one. The answer to that is yes, they are required to have another fingerprint test. Unfortunately, the fingerprint clearance for the initial application for a license classification is separate from the renewal fingerprint clearance. So applications from salespersons to take the broker's exam will need its own background clearance with the application. So if someone has a record of fingerprints for another license, for example, if you have a CWP, a concealed weapons permit, you have had extensive fingerprinting, palm printing, et cetera, for that. Can that be used by the real estate commission? No, it cannot. Fingerprinting background clearance cannot be shared between entities. They cannot share information. Second question: if a licensee schedules a fingerprint test with Identigo, IDENTOGO, on their own, can that fingerprint test be used, or must I wait until SCREC, the Real Estate Commission, sends them the instructions regarding proper procedures? Can I just go on my own and have this done? The answer is the licensee should always wait for instructions from SCREC, from the Real Estate Commission. There are specific identifiers for the South Carolina Real Estate Commission to have those reports sent to us from the FBI and from SLED. We should not receive reports before the application is already on file due to privacy restrictions from the FBI, and we will be audited. We send instructions immediately after staff is assigned to an application to avoid receiving reports prematurely. Rod went on to state, I know of a few people who are making appointments with Identigo now for fingerprinting. Is it advisable? Does Identigo have all the forms for processing? Rod said, yes, they do. They have forms for processing if you're already licensed. If you're already licensed and renewing in 2021. But for initial applicants who have not yet applied, the answer to that question is no, they do not have any information. So if licensees are renewing in 2021, are able to get an appointment with South Carolina Identigo, they can go ahead and do it. Identigo's locations will do digital fingerprinting and digitally transmit to SLED and FBI for processing. We will send out this information to you. I know I'm providing a lot of information and you can't write it all down and take notes. So we will send this out to you. But another important question. This comes from folks who are licensed in North Carolina and South Carolina. We have a lot of reciprocity that goes on between our states. We're on the border with a number of North Carolina licensees coming into South Carolina, and they're not certain of the process or the procedure in regard to the fingerprinting. North Carolina licensees, for the most part, are to follow the non-resident instructions to get printed at a local law enforcement agency or other fingerprinting service and register for manual processing of the fingerprint cards with Identigo. The cards will then need to be mailed to Identigo by them in Tennessee after registration and printing in accordance with the instructions provided. Everything that we do, the South Carolina Real Estate Commission is going to provide you instructions on how to do that. The most important thing that you can do is follow those instructions and don't just go out on your own and choose to do something. This is brand new. And let me say this, we have over 61,000 licensees in South Carolina now. And we're growing by about 500 licensees a month. So that's a huge amount to keep up with. And Rod Atkinson and his staff at the Real Estate Commission do an incredible job. However, when this came about, this is monumental. So to have folks fingerprinted and background checks and so forth. So we're going to need to be patient, but most of all, as licensees, you do not want your license to lapse, expire, or for you not to have those licenses up to date and current, because it can stop you from practicing real estate. So you don't want that to happen. So stay tuned to LLR, go on the website, follow the instructions, and everyone will be fine. Now, Rod sent this information to me, and we'll post this as well. It's on the website, South Carolina Real Estate Commission fingerprint background fact checklist. Okay, so I'm going to touch on a couple of things, and then I'll kind of open this for questions and answers. First question was, and some of this is a little redundant, can I get the background checks done prior to submitting my application to the Real Estate Commission? The answer is no. All right, I'm not going to go into the full explanation, but we'll post it. Do I need to get fingerprinted and have the background checks done separately? The answer is no. Once you will only need to have the fingerprinting done in accordance with the instructions you receive, and the fingerprinting is done so that the background reports may be processed and submitted to the South Carolina Real Estate Commission from the FBI and SLED. So they're not separate, just one. Do I need to get fingerprinted again if I have a TSA clearance or clearance with any other licensing board? The answer is, once again, yes. I covered that a few minutes ago. They do not share information between the different organizations. So you'll have to do that. Last, when do I need to have my fingerprinting background check done for my renewal? All licensees who are due to renew their license in 2021 and 2022 will be required to be fingerprinted and have background checks conducted. If you're inactive but plan to reactivate again within the next 6 years after these renewal cycles, it would be of benefit to you to also get fingerprinted, as the commission will need clearance prior to your reactivation of your license. Fingerprinting will be conducted again for all renewing in 2027 and 2028 if still required by law. If you're renewing in one of these cycles, please wait until instructions have gone out before getting fingerprinted. Don't get fingerprinted in 2021 if you're not due to renew until the 2022 renewal cycle, as the clearance dates will be important in auditing compliance. All of this falls in the area of compliance. What happens if I renew and don't get fingerprinted? What happens if I do that? There are problems. You will not be approved. You have to follow the procedure. So on behalf of the commission, I share that bit of information that's updated. All of us know that it's really important for us as licensees to be up to date on what's happening in the industry. And I really appreciate the comments, what's happening with our Realtors Political Action Committee and Morris's update on the South Carolina Realtor Association. Our involvement in our associations, our involvement in our state and in our national organizations is imperative. When I was at App State and my concentration was in real estate, one of the things that the professor said is immediately when you get out and you get licensed, which was a requirement of our program that we take the North Carolina licensing exam, join your local association of realtors, join your state association of realtors, and you will become a member of the national. But more than joining, be involved and get involved in the industry that's going to be your livelihood in years to come. And I will tell you, as a practicing realtor for 45 years, it is a wonderful career. It's a wonderful occupation. And I know that I'm speaking to the choir here when I say that. We all love what we do. We love to be involved in home ownership and being a part of that. And it's a privilege for me to represent you on the South Carolina Real Estate Commission. Let me say this, I would invite any of you to be my guest and come and sit in on a commission meeting. Now, we have been meeting on Zoom this year. For most of the year, we are not back in person meeting at our office on Center Street in Columbia. We will hopefully be back soon in person to person. And I would invite you to come. You can sit in on those meetings. We have a representative of the South Carolina Realtors Association at every meeting. Austin is there. We often have Nick Promitis from the association, and we have members of the public there who are interested in what's happening in the real estate industry, as well as licensees. You're welcome to come and sit in on the meetings. We have two different types of meetings. One are for those who are applying for licensure in South Carolina, who perhaps have had something on their background check, may have been 20 years ago, that came up that they have to come before the commission and explain what took place in their background before being allowed or not allowed to sit for the licensing exam. The second are the hearings. Your hearings are basically very much like court hearings, where the licensee is brought before the commission and the state of South Carolina attorney for LLR brings the charge to the commission against a licensee. We do not want to see any of you before us. We're glad to have you in the audience. Am I right, Morris? But we do not want you before the commission at a hearing.
Correct.
But it is a good experience for you to come and to sit in on one of those meetings. Wouldn't you agree that we have the licensee has an opportunity to hear of violations that have taken place by a licensee that have affected the public and that really are in regard to South Carolina real estate licensing law. They're in violation of the law. And those are very difficult times. It's not something that we as commission members really look forward to because most of us on the commission are practitioners. Now, we do have and are required by law to have members of the public as on the commission as well. So we have several commission members who are public members. So, but I would encourage you, if you have not read your South Carolina real estate license law, you don't have to take it to bed with you, okay? You can read it at your leisure, but do pick it back up and refresh yourself on South Carolina real estate licensing law. Now, let me say this, what are the real hot topics before us right now? Let me just touch on, if you go to South Carolina real estate licensing law and you look at section 40-57-135, you can write this down because this is a hot topic before the South Carolina Real Estate Commission. I happen to chair the task force on this. And I also chair the committee for the Association of Licensing Law Officials, which is our national association. I chair that committee, which is law and regulation, and we are dealing with this also. This section refers to duties of the broker in charge and the property manager in charge, associated licensees, office locations, policies, record keeping, management, etc. But the broker in charge and property manager in charge responsibilities. That is a long section, 135, 40-57-135. You need to read that, be very familiar with it. Not only the brokers in charge, but you as licensees. Also, if you will, refer to the next section, read it all. But once again, I'm just pointing out things that are coming up. Real estate brokerage firm duties to their clients. Section 40-57-350. What are the duties of the real estate brokerage firm and you as a licensee to the clients? The agency relationships, buyer agency, seller agency, disclosed dual agency, designated agency, transactional brokerage. You need to make sure that you read and that you abide by these and follow right to the letter, the law of South Carolina. You won't have any problem, none whatsoever. But the one thing that none of us are perfect. We're all going to make mistakes along the way. But it's important for us as licensees to protect the thing that is important for us and our livelihood. And that is our license to practice real estate in the state of South Carolina and in the state of North Carolina, because it is our livelihood. But I'll just open, I've taken a lot of time, President Candace, but if there are questions, and if we don't have time for questions, if you'll submit them, we will get answers back to you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Billy, do we have time for like 1 or 2 minutes of questions? If anybody has any questions, we do. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask at this time? Don't be shy. Just unmute yourself.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Rinehart, Alex Dewey. How you doing?
Hey, Alex, I'm fine. Thank you.
Want to do, and I'm pretty sure that I read this, but I want to verify it. Was there an education extension for 2021, or was it more based on the fingerprinting part of it?
No, there was for 2020, we extended, okay, the requirements for CE requirements. And will that be extended for 2021? I will check and answer that question. My understanding is that it will be, and that the requirements will be extended until, I believe, the end of December 2021. As I recall, we did approve that, and that was at a recent meeting. So the answer to that question is yes, for those CE requirements.
Thank you.
Yes,
Mr. Rinehart, can I interrupt?
Yes.
According to what I heard, that was not approved fully. So can you double check that? What I heard was approved, just because I want to make sure we get the right information out.
Yes.
That what I heard was approved, that virtual education was extended through December, but they still had to have their education done for CE renewals by June.
Okay, good.
So I just want to make sure we get the correct information out. If you could just
Billy, you are correct. That did apply to virtual until December 31st. But the CE requirements, yes, you are correct in your comment.
And there are lots of good options of virtual CE classes now that are, that's a good thing to have this year for sure.
Mm-hmm. But we will clarify that with the commission, and Billy, if you will, we'll get that information to the members so that that we are on target with answering that question. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Anybody else have a question?
Maybe I want to just put in a little plug here. the PRIR has a link to the CE shop for good virtual education. And so Billy, maybe you want to share that link with people so that they can go in and register there. I did all of mine through there.
I'll tell you, today they have a code for 40% off for the CE shop. So that's for online education. And then there's also the Western Upstate that has virtual. So those are two different options, but I'll put the link in here.
Thank you. So I don't see anybody else having any questions. Seeing hands going up. Well, thank you, Mr. Rinehart. We really appreciate that. Really good information. I know realtors are excited and not excited about getting fingerprinted and going through these changes, but our industry changes every single day, it seems like, and we just have to kind of roll with it. So thank you for giving us this information so that people can get informed on what to do.
Thank you, President Candace, and thank you, members of the PRAR.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, I just want to give like a quick president's report. One thing, if you have the display key for Canopy, Billy can take them here and she will be a drop-off site. So that way you don't have to go all the way up to Charlotte to drop off your display key. I myself am a display key, e-key kind of person, and I'm actually going to miss it because my phone is always dying, but I'm getting a new phone one day. But I'm going to miss that little key. And, but it's great to know that we have Billy here that will drop it off to Charlotte if you don't want to drive up there to get rid of your key. And I've been informed that we will no longer have, once we go to where you use the super key on your phone, there won't be a monthly fee. So that's exciting. You know, not to have that fee, just will be your, you know, in your dues and everything.
What is the date for that, Billy? Do you know the hard date for that?
My understanding for those that are already in the system that already had the display key, it's September. But if you're brand new signing up, it was going to be March. So I don't have the exact date on that. But by September, you will no longer have a monthly fee.
That's what I wanted to know. How many more monthly fees?
I will try to reach out to Michelle to find out, and I will let you guys know.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Also, if you haven't done the Fairhaven training that NAR has put out, please go on there and look into that, because that is a wonderful training that you can do that's very interactive. We all think that we will go the right path, but they throw some scenarios out there at you, and you know, you might go in a different direction, and it's just it's an opportunity to learn and an opportunity to grow. So if you have not done the fair, and thank you, Billy, she's posted the NAR Realtor Fairhaven training link there. So if you have not done that, please you know, feel free to do that. I think it's about an hour, 45 minutes.
About an hour, depending on how you answer the questions. Sometimes
Yes.
it'll make you take a couple other scenarios.
Absolutely. But it's interactive and it's fun. So I highly encourage everybody to take the time to do that. I also wanted to just reiterate about with the Identigo. So we're still in the process of getting our dates confirmed. So as soon as we have those dates, Billy will send out communication about the dates that we will have Identigo here on site in Rock Hill, so we can take care of our realtors here. So don't fret, we have you covered. We just have to confirm our dates with them and get everything going. So once we have that, we will let everybody know about that, so you can come here and get your fingerprinting done. They can get started with your background and everything. If you missed our YPN meeting, I see a few faces that were at our YPN event from last week. It was a wonderful event. I hope that in the future, everybody, is not just for our young professional, it's anybody can come, but we're looking forward to the wonderful things that Aaron Swan is doing with our association for our YPN. And if you want to be a member, you want to participate with that, you know, feel free. She'll love to have you come to her events that she's having, a combination of some that'll be virtually, but the kickoff was you know, at the Cambria hotel downtown Rock Hill. And if you didn't know we had a downtown Rock Hill with a rooftop bar, I mean, you definitely need to go and check it out. It's pretty nice. I mean, it really feels like something you would experience uptown Charlotte at one of their rooftop bars. So it's really nice, and it's exciting to have that here. So she's getting started with her events, and we're super excited about that. So if you have any questions about YPN, please feel free to reach out to her. She, Erin Swan, she's with Rinehart Realty. She's great. So, but it's open to everybody. You do not have to be a young professional. I'm young at heart myself. So I enjoyed it. And tomorrow we actually have our first community service chair meeting, well, for our community service committee meeting. Our first one is at 1 o'clock. Jerry Ann Jackson is our community chair. So if you are interested in seeing how you can get more involved in our community, and that when we say community, we're talking about Chester County, Lancaster County, and York County. So it's not just Rock Hill and York County, it's for all of our areas. So if you're thinking about how can you get a little bit more involved through the association in our communities, please reach out to Jerry Ann Jackson. Billy can connect everybody. We have a meeting tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and she'll be sharing some different things, and we'll be talking about, getting active in there. Also, feel free, please go on our website. There are lots of community chairs that you can be a part of. So if there's something that your heart desires, and you say, well, I'm real big on education or whatever the case might be, we may have a committee that you can actually chair and bring some of this information and value to our members. So if there's something that your heart speaks to you about it, go on our website and see, and we'll put you to work. So, but please, check that out. And thank you guys so much for coming to our meeting. I think this is one of our most attended meetings since I've been president. So I'm excited to see all the faces, and, I challenge each one of us on here, when we know we have an upcoming meeting, we know we have an upcoming event or CE or something like that the association is having or sponsoring or hosting, please tell another realtor in your office, or or an affiliate if they're an affiliate with us, because we want to get the word out. This is for all of us. We're one community, kind of like how we just say we're one realtor family. It doesn't matter what firm you're with. So we can all learn from one another. And then also, I don't know if anybody else is exhausted with this market, but I'm exhausted with the market. It's just a crazy market. So I still highly encourage everybody, one, continue to practice the COVID CDC guidelines for social distancing and being safe and keeping your clients safe as you're going in and out of spaces, but also be courteous to one another. It's still a stressful time out here, and we all would like to make a sale. I don't know any realtor who gets into real estate that doesn't want to make a sale and make some money, but we also still need to remember to put our clients' needs first and foremost, and then also be courteous and kind to all the other realtors that we are interacting with, because that matters. And just lift everybody up in that regard. So just wanted to say that. And I think that's all I really wanted to say. Billy, is there anything that you can think of that I should mention that didn't come to mind?
Nope, but I did have a couple announcements.
Perfect. We'll go to you.
I want to let everybody know that our April 21st Walk Through the Law Core class is already full, just because we're still limiting it to 30 people so that people can still socially distance. But we do still have a class June 16th, and we do have the online classes that are available. So May 5th ethics class is almost full if people are interested in that class. So if you know anybody that wants that class, they probably need to sign up pretty quickly. There's only 3 or 4 spots left on that class. I am really excited to let you guys know that we are doing I have arranged for a fair housing inspector to talk to us about, it's called Stories from Your Backyard. So we're going to do a couple different programs throughout the month, probably mostly virtual, or in partnership with SCR to try to promote fair housing. But to end it April 28th at 2:00 in the afternoon, virtually, we're going to have a fair housing inspector share stories with us of actual investigations they've done here in South Carolina. So it's more of an on-hands learning. So please invite all of your colleagues, your offices to join us for that. It will be live streamed through the SCR Facebook page. And Nick will be probably coordinating most of that so that we can get it out to the whole state. But I think it'll be really eye-opening for us to actually see, oh, it doesn't affect us. Oh, we don't know anybody that does that, to actually see what they're actually investigating on actual real complaints here in South Carolina. So more information will come on that, but it's April 28th at 2:00. The other thing is we have coming up in May is our NAR Realtors Legislative Meetings. It is all virtual and it's all free. It's a great way to get involved and learn more so than getting involved, but just to learn about the legislative process, where RPAC and what NAR is doing and what we're working on. So I put the link in there where you can register. I highly encourage you guys to get to register since it is free. We're not having to go to Washington, D.C. this year. So please consider registering and attending as much of that as you can. And then the other thing I wanted to share is I'm really, really excited about the Broker Summit. Candace has worked really hard for that with me. And hopefully by that time, Morris will come up and join us here for it. It is June 16th. And we have Matt Daughtery, who's a former basketball coach for UNC, that's going to be our guest speaker for the program. So it's open to brokers of South Carolina or brokers in charge in North Carolina. So it's a broker summit, but it's our first one for PRAR. It's going to be at Napa and Kingsley. Yes, we're doing a charge for this event just because we need people to show up. But I promise you, you're going to get a full meal. Plus, we've got the speakers and a great speaker I'm really excited for. But it's going to be a great event, a couple hours at Napa and Kingsley and Fort Mill. So please, please, please sign up for it. I'm truly trying to make it a great event for you guys. We have other speakers we have lined up. We have Canopy MLS that's going to come talk. We have asked a couple NAR speakers to come and talk to you guys. And we've got a couple other speaker requests out there as well. So please, please, if you have a broker or your brokers around, ask them to sign up for that. Broker Summit, June 16th, Napa, Kingsley. So if you have questions, you can talk to me. You can talk to any of our board members. You can call the office, whatever you want to do. And that's all I had. Is there any other questions right now? All right, I think I have caught everyone that is on the meeting. So we are going to do our door prize.
Yay.
Go back. So you guys should have all seen that our door prize is a $100 gift card to the new restaurant downstairs, the Counter. So can you guys all see this? All right, I think somebody's ringing. All right, so everybody's name's in here. So the deal is you had to be present to win. So who's it? Tony Jones, are you still here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, Tony, congratulations. You have won.
Thank you.
So I will email you the gift card, the $100 gift card to the Counter, which is right downstairs that just opened, and I hear it's got great reviews. So.
Oh, thank you so much.
Congratulations. And Tony, don't forget to make reservations downstairs to the Counter, because I heard they take reservations there, but the food is excellent.
Okay.
Isn't that
All
neat?
right, thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. Isn't that neat, that little wheel thing? So much technology. We can all use that for something at some point. Well, if all hearts and minds are clear, I really appreciate you guys all being here for our meeting. Mr. Rinehart, it's just an honor to just have you come to our meeting and, and give us all this great information. Thank you. Thank you. Morris, thank you so much for, coming to our meeting, because I know you're busy too, and we really appreciate you taking the time out.
You are welcome. No, I enjoyed it.
And all of you guys, thank you for coming to our meeting, because you guys are out here working every day tirelessly. You're doing what you need to do to support yourselves and your families. So thank you for taking out this hour and look like 15 or so minutes of your day to come to our meeting. I'm just excited that we had such great participation for this meeting. We'll have another one coming up soon, and different events coming up soon. So thank you so much for just embarking in this journey with us this year, and going out here and selling many houses and managing many deals and different things for yourselves and your clients. So thank you so much. If all hearts and minds are clear, if nobody has any more questions for anybody on this panel, I would like to get a motion to adjourn our membership meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Carolyn. All right. Well, we
Yeah.
will go ahead and move forward and close out our meeting. Thank
Thanks
you.
again. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.